6. Political perspectives. If God has truly and causally created all things and is himself sovereign, self-contained and triune, then no fact is a fact apart from him, nor can any fact have a valid interpretation in and of itself. God created factuality means God interpreted factuality. Apart from God, there is only the concept of brute factuality, facts in and of themselves and without any relationship or meaning in terms of one another, a sea of meaningless and unrelated particulars, or else the absorption of all facts into the ocean of being, and the loss of both identity and particular meaning. The first means a world of anarchistic atoms or particulars, and the second means a totalitarian and obliterating unity. Much, if not most, anarchism escapes from its total isolationism and meaninglessness by discovering the whole as present in every part. In Simone Weil, anarchism thus ended in the tyranny of the one. A friendly scholar thus describes her utopia. Simone Weil's utopia is essentially a system of production in which every worker would determine his own behaviour by reason alone, without reference to any rules with respect both to his own role in the productive process and the coordination of his role with the roles of all the other members of the community. In such a society, everyone would be in a position to control the entire life of the community, so community life would always be in conformity with the general will. Would this not put the whole society at the mercy of a single arbitrary act? The situation is excluded conceptually because there is only one single, identical reason for all men. They become foreign and impenetrable to one another only when they depart from it. Thus, a society in which the necessary and sufficient condition of all material life is that everyone exercises his reason would be completely transparent to every mind. The similarity to Marxism is readily apparent, as is the reason why anarchism historically has worked so closely with socialism and communism. In Orthodox Trinitarian Christianity, the problem of the one and the many is resolved. Unity and plurality are equally ultimate in the Godhead, and temporal unity and plurality are on the basis of equal validity. There is thus no basic conflict between individual and community. The individual lives in community, and the community flourishes as the individual finds himself and grows in terms of consistently Christian faith. Instead of a basic philosophical hostility between individual and government, believer and church, person and family, there is a necessary coexistence. Neither the one nor the many is reducible to the other. They cannot seek the obliteration of the other, for that involves self-obliteration. The Augustinian and Calvinistic faith, by its hostility to subordinationism, holds, if developed, the possibilities for true social order, and to the extent that Augustinianism and Calvinism have been followed, Western culture has developed both freedom and order. When Christological subordinationism has set in, that is, the subordinate status of the second person of the Trinity affirmed, statism has arisen, as in Byzantium, Russia, with its docetic Christology, Anglicanism and modernism, to cite but a few instances. The equal ultimacy of the one and the many is disturbed and the order of revelation demoted. The Roman emperors were intensely aware of this fact, and to promote statism, supported Arianism and other subordinationist views as essential to the maintenance of the state as the one true order in which man's life was totally comprehended. The hostility of Athanasius rested on this premise. The Council of Chalcedon in 451, by affirming the full Trinitarian faith, was thus the significant victory that led to what is called Western civilization. Reductionism is the outcome of a faulty Christology. Once the eternal one and many is negated in its equal ultimacy, it ceases to be the framework of reference, and an immanent one absorbs the many. This immanent one, the Roman, Byzantine, and Holy Roman Empires sought to be, as does the modern state and now the United Nations. Instead of the focal point being a transcendental one and many, which no human order as created being could embody, the temporal order became the frame of reference. The eternal order was denied so that a human one could replace it. The divine emperors and the divine right of kings rested on this philosophical premise, and the Byzantine court developed the theology of the emperor and court. Modern statism is a descendant of this faith. Whether democracy, communism, or the United Nations, it sees the fulfillment of man in terms of the state, the true one and reality of being. Man, after Aristotle, is seen as a social animal who exists truly only in the state. There is no law beyond the state, so that, whether in Russia or the United States, Christianity must be denied its role as the basis of law and be given, at best, toleration as a peripheral or non-essential factor in man's history. Man is now defined as humanity rather than the individual, and this great one humanity, to be truly a unity, must exist as one state. In this picture, any assertion of individuality, local or national independence, or the reality of races is viewed with hostility and as a sign of mental sickness. It is an assertion of plurality which challenges the reality and unity of the universal. It is a sick shattering of the great oneness of being. But since differences and distinctions are basic to all description and definition, meaning disappears as this universal triumphs. We have noted the bold derogation of all plurality and meaning in Milarepa. There are signs of a similar boldness in modern champions of this exclusive universal, humanity as a world state. Thus, Rimbaud, Ginsberg, Henry Miller, and others negate all other meanings in terms of the one reality, humanity, but humanity seen as totally divorced from Christianity, law, morality, and civilization. The tension between the one and the many in non-Christian systems means the exclusiveness of one or the other, with the end results being the total meaninglessness of categories, whether in Milarepa or Miller.